As you saw in the title and the thumbnail, I went yesterday, actually when I post this video, actually I think it'll be yesterday when I did this. I'm moving this one forward a little bit for you guys. I went to the dealership here in Utah, Larry H. Miller, Sandy, special shout out. Ordered a Ram. I didn't order it. I put in an order. I wanted to see what the pricing would be. And I looked at my pricing on my truck before I got there. I said, let me see how much I paid for this one because I want to compare what the price difference is. It's almost $30,000 more. Now, I will say this. I did add air suspension to this build in Night Edition. And what doesn't make any sense is the fact that the Night Edition went up like almost double, if not a little bit more actually. So I don't know what the heck Ram is doing. Like, are they like seeing that people are stupid enough to buy their product and pay so much money for it? Maybe they got onto us. Now, luckily I was able to talk Larry H. Miller into doing invoice for me. And I was talking to one of the employees there, and they actually have a little bit lower pricing than invoice. So I'm not saying I will, I may work there for a year, which I think would be beneficial to my channel because number one, I really can't buy this truck and justify trading this one in because I think I may have said this in other videos. I did pay cash for this. My wife, when we first were looking at this truck, I was going to buy a 2018. I actually did a little short video showing you guys the truck I was going to buy. Maybe I'll do a separate video. I want to because I have footage I never posted. And I was going to buy a 2018 because literally with my employee pricing and the truck I had at the time, it was like I want to say it was like $3,000 difference. It was something crazy. So at that time, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get a mega cab. I had a crew cab at the time, and it was a 3500. It had a high output Cummins, but it was just a 2018. But then I went out and looked at the pricing for the 2019, and I want to say it was still a pretty darn good deal. I want to say I walked away like paying a difference of $17,000 when it was all said and done. So my truck I had, the 2018 originally, the one I had bought, the 2500, that one I put a lot of money down on because again, I wanted to keep my payments low, number one, but number two, I was doubling the payments to pay it off within 2 years. That was the goal. But the second truck, my wife said, if you buy another truck within a year, you're gonna have to pay cash for it. So I had to cash out my stocks that I had. And luckily it worked out because I had stock in Boeing. And as you saw, Boeing dropped out of the sky in 2020. So it all worked out. But nevertheless though, I did YouTube and I've justified, hey, I'm gonna make money on YouTube at some point, I think. And I did. And so it all worked out. So why am I telling you all this? I don't know why I'm telling you all this. I guess I don't really talk to you guys about these things. So I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of a look into my life. But if I were to trade this truck in on the new one at invoice, I think I'll still wind up paying $26,000 out of pocket. And I'm just lowballing my trade in my head right now. But they would probably have to really step up on this because this truck only has 41,000 miles on it. And I'm really thinking that if the new Ram is $110,000, this truck is going up in value too. Now, don't judge me for being optimistic. Don't judge me. Like I said, I do not understand this new pricing because let's think about what Ram has done to this truck. The only thing I can see that they've done different is they are going to be changing the mirrors. They are going to be making the cluster fully digital, which honestly, I think that'd be kind of cool. I'm just going to be honest. I think that's kind of cool. And they're going to probably give it like a trailer backup assist and a few other enhancements that don't really matter. But there's no new transmission. There's no new power that I can see. Now, they haven't unveiled the truck yet. They haven't shown it on the website. All they've done was show the press release. And the press release is very vague. They haven't really said anything groundbreaking for me to be like, oh my gosh, like the 2023 is the truck to have for 10 grand more than the 2022. And yes, this truck that I'm thinking about ordering is 10 grand more a year later. A year later. But what have they done? because inflation is starting to curb down a little bit. I mean, come on, Ram, what are you doing? 10 grand more a year later and almost 30 grand more 4 years later, 4 model years later, I should say. I honestly don't understand all this. Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around this pricing. Like, who's gonna buy this truck? Like, I don't even know if I want to be the first one, because shoot, with the way the world's going, I mean, these trucks might start dropping in price because of the fact that no one's gonna be able to afford them. $110,000. You know, back in 2020 and 21, if you were talking to the elders, a lot of you guys would have waited to buy cars. And the chip shortage would have never been a problem because people would have been content with what they had. That's why I didn't buy, because I was like, this has got to come down. But because I do YouTube, I can justify doing this, because I'll make the 10 grand back on videos. I mean, I'm just being honest here. It's an investment for me. And this truck is in my personal name. My goal is to put my new one in my business name. I have to talk to my accounting about it. If I were to put this money down on the new truck, would that affect my taxes? Ooh, I did not think about that. Eesh. In the comment section, does anyone know about that? I guess it wouldn't affect me because this is in my personal name. I do write off the mileage for it, but I wonder if I were to trade this truck, if I got 80 grand for this truck on the new one, I wonder if that might actually affect me on my taxes. I may not be able to trade this truck in on the new one, so I may have to keep both, finance that one, sell this one, and just make the payments for maybe a year or two, and then I don't know. I just thought about that just now. I don't know if I can trade this truck in on a new one. Eesh. That's not good. But nevertheless, we'll figure that out. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't affect it at all. Maybe I'm not thinking about it the right way. I have to talk to my accountant about that. That's a video for another day. $110,000. I paid $86,000. This truck, I'll probably be paying about $101,000. I'll show you guys some of the options I picked. As you guys can see, I don't have it with me right now. I apologize. I'll probably have to do a separate video to go into this one. But I did get air suspension. The night edition is a lot more money than what it was on the 2022s. And I did the trailer tire pressure monitoring. I'm not going to do the camera. I apologize, guys. I'm not going to add a camera to my fifth wheel. And maybe before I order, because I haven't done anything yet with the order. I still have time. I might still not do the camera. I won't use it. It would be kind of cool to see behind the trailer, maybe. I don't know, maybe I'll have to think about it. But for now, I'm leaning towards no. But the tire pressure monitoring for the trailer, I'm definitely going to do. And the limited level 1 is $6,000. It wasn't that expensive in the past. That has gone up probably double or triple the price but from the time I bought my truck. And it really is just adding the stuff that the limited has always had, which again, Ram is just cracking us over the head here. But I'm probably gonna do white again, because a lot of guys do have my truck now on YouTube. I think I was the first one on YouTube to have a white limited mega cab, and a couple of the guys start getting them too. And I don't really care about that. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's not like it's a Ferrari specialty color or something like that. It's just, it's a nice truck. I get it. I mean, white on this truck looks really amazing. But on night edition, I may wrap my next one a different color, so no one can have the same truck as me. I'm that guy. I want to be a little different. But we'll see. That's again, we'll talk about that in another video. But the performance hood, I did not add that. I don't know if it's an option or standard. Now, here's the thing. I don't want my payload to go down substantially. My truck, because it doesn't have air suspension, I don't think the air suspension adds a lot of weight to the truck, because I have found my identical truck with air suspension. That was the only difference. It was the exact, it had the same interior color, I think, too. And the only option that it had that my truck didn't was the air suspension. So I wonder if that might not affect the weight as much, because I want to stay around at least 3,600 pounds or more. And if that performance hood is not aluminum like this hood is, that could be a problem. Which brings me to my next point. No, I'm not getting a dually. I'm not ready for a dually. I'll get a dually probably, I'll probably get a second truck and get a dually. It may not be a Ram, it might be a Ford, it might be a GM, I don't know. But I'll get a separate truck. I don't want a dually. I'm not ready for riding around in a dually truck, because if I do get one, I'm going to put 37 by 13 and a halfs on it. And I'm probably going to lift it maybe 2 inches, maybe 1.5 inches if it's possible, just do 1.5 inch lift, because I'll still want to my fifth wheel. And then it'll just be kind of cool to have a dually like that. And then I can drive it whenever I want. But I don't want a dually to drive all the time, because we do a lot of stuff with our kids. And I know a lot of you guys are like, I have a dually and I have no problem parking my dually. Shut the heck up. People are so, online, you can be as tough as you want to be, but in reality, we can't see who you are, you 15-year-old boy. Like, chill out. Seriously, like, it's not because I can't back up a dually. It's just because I don't want that big of a truck, because my wife drives my truck. And I know that those dually hips are going to get tore up from her. I love her to death, but she going to tear those hips up. I still love you, Hannah. I love you. But let's wrap this video up because it's getting too long. Number one, $110,000. It's a lot of money compared to 4 years earlier, $86,000. And even if I add the air suspension and the night edition, which was not available at the time, I would still be under 90 grand. So if you take those things off this build, it's basically a 20 grand swing, more or less. But we'll have to figure out the performance hood. I do like the heat extractors that it has, and I think it has like a hood scoop like the GM truck, which is kind of cool. And I don't know, if it's more weight though, I'm not going to get it. If it's not aluminum, because the hood on this truck, if you don't know, is aluminum, I'm probably going to have to forego it. But I do think the night edition does take a little bit of weight off the truck, because I have compared mine with the identical limited night edition, and it had a higher payload than mine. So I really don't want to lose payload. That's big. And if I do lose payload, when I go to order my next truck, I'll just get a dually. That's what I'll do. And then I'll just get a night edition dually. But for now, we're going to stick with single rear wheel. But I hope this video was helpful. I'll have black interior, which I didn't want. I tried to get this interior again. I know you guys think that's ugly. I think it looks good. I don't care. I don't like dark interior, because out here in Utah, or even in Maryland, it's just too hot. So yeah, I wanted this interior. I know it doesn't look as nice. I know you guys all like to have black interior, but this navy blue with this tan looks good. But yeah, I will definitely have to show you guys these mirrors at some point. The new ones, they're hideous. Like, Ram, you suck. You absolutely suck. You know what you're doing. You need to stop doing it. You need to give me a conquest rebate, like of like 2 or 3 grand, because I'm buying my third Ram truck. This will be my third Ram truck, and I bought a Jeep. I've had a Charger Hellcat. I've had 2 Grand Cherokees and a Dodge Durango company car, and a Ram 1500 company car. So I've been advertising for you for a long time, and quite honestly, I'm responsible for at least 100 Ram sales, at least 100. So I need some conquest money. Or if you guys can give me EP, just give me the number for EP. My company fired me because I was promoting you guys. I was promoting you. I was affiliate for you, and they still fired me. So please give me an employee pricing so I can get a little bit, like 4 grand more off this truck. That'd be awesome if I can get it under 100 grand. So on that note, special shout out to Larry H. Miller. Love Danny, the general sales manager. That guy is awesome. I have never met a sales manager or general sales manager that is so cool, so laid back, and just 100%. He is the person that I always buy cars from. And if I pay a little bit more, I'm okay, because he's a guy who's going to take care of you. And, he's not going to fight you. He's honest. He might be a little too honest for me. I'm just kidding. He's great. But yeah, if you want to buy a car, Larry H. Miller, 100%. Those are the guys you want to go to. See if you especially live out in this area too. But again, thank you for watching this video. Sorry it went so long. I was rambling. And yeah, we'll see if Ram does anything extra. I know they're not going to do the transmission, so don't expect that. But if they do a refresh, maybe I won't be as upset. But I probably still be, because 10 grand's a lot of money. That's a lot of money in 1 year. You suck, Ram. But if you give me employee pricing, you won't suck anymore.